Most educated people are broke, and it's not because they're stupid. It's because nobody taught them money. You can stack degrees, land a good job, even pull 6 figures, and still feel broke at the end of the month. Sound familiar? Here's the brutal truth: schools train you to pass exams, not to build wealth. That's why nearly 65% of high-income earners in the US still live paycheck to paycheck. Think about that: people making big money, still trapped in the same cycle: work, spend, repeat. The cost? Stress, broken relationships, dreams put on hold. It's like running full speed on a treadmill. You're exhausted, but you're not moving forward. But here's the kicker: it's not about how much you earn, it's about how you think, spend, and build habits. And if you don't fix those, no diploma or promotion will ever save you. So in this video, I'll reveal the 7 hidden reasons educated people stay poor, and the exact shifts that can break you out. Stick with me, because the first reason is the one nobody dares to admit. Most educated folks grow up thinking the paycheck is the holy grail. You land that degree, grab a stable job, and boom, you're set for life, right? Wrong. Relying only on a salary is like building a house on sand. One layoff, one recession, one company restructure, and you're toast. Think of it like in the office, when everyone depended on Dunder Mifflin's stability until the company almost went under. Salaries don't guarantee security. Now here's the thing: money habits matter way more than just clocking in. Imagine if someone earning $80,000 a year saved and invested even 20%, that's $16,000 annually, building wealth instead of getting eaten up by bills. The psychology of money tells us that depending only on a paycheck limits not just your income, but your freedom. Financial education pushes you to see money as a tool, not just a wage. A smart move? Build side income streams. Freelancing, consulting, renting out a room on Airbnb, even flipping stuff online. These aren't just extra cash, they're survival strategies. Remember Breaking Bad, minus the illegal part? Walter White's day job paycheck wasn't cutting it, so he looked for another way. Now imagine channeling that same desperation into legit hustle. You'd be shocked at the results. Here's the kicker: investing a slice of your salary is non-negotiable. Start small with index funds like Vanguard's VOO, or even dividend stocks like Johnson & Johnson. You don't need to be Gordon Gekko from Wall Street to get this. With compound growth, $500 invested monthly at 8% can hit over $730,000 in 30 years. That's financial psychology in action, turning habits into long-term freedom. So, don't let your salary chain you down. Personal finance is about choices, not just paychecks. Build streams that flow into each other: salary, investments, side hustles. The power comes when you realize you're not stuck depending on one single source of money. And speaking of education, that leads us to a bigger trap most people miss: what happens when you've got degrees on your wall but no clue how to actually manage money? It's wild how schools can teach you calculus, but nobody sits you down to explain a credit score. Degrees don't equal financial education. You could be rocking a master's, but if you don't know how to budget, save, and invest, you're one paycheck away from broke. Think about friends. Rachel had style, charm, and a job, but zero money habits early on, and that lifestyle almost buried her in debt. Financial literacy is the missing piece most folks skip. Want solid finance tips? Start small. Track your spending with apps like Mint or an app. Commit to reading at least one finance book or listening to one podcast a month. Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki and The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel are game changers. Knowledge turns into confidence, and confidence turns into better choices. Without this, educated people fall into money traps, swiping cards blindly, taking loans without thinking, and investing in hype instead of research. That's financial psychology at play. Most people chase quick wins instead of building long-term habits. It's like in Shark Tank, some entrepreneurs pitch flashy ideas but crumble when asked about numbers. Education without literacy is like having a car with no steering wheel. Here's the practical step: dedicate 1 hour a week to money learning. Just one. Read about how index funds work, how real estate can generate passive income, or how high-yield savings accounts beat leaving money in checking. Over time, that's a massive knowledge edge. Personal finance isn't about memorizing formulas, it's about understanding the flow of money in and out of your life. So while a degree looks good on paper, it won't save you from bad decisions if you don't build money habits. The truth is, financial education is a skill anyone can learn, but most skip it until it's too late. And what happens when people ignore it? They end up chasing a lifestyle that eats their entire paycheck, which is where we're heading next. Getting a bigger paycheck feels amazing, but here's the trap: lifestyle inflation. You land that promotion, and suddenly it's a bigger apartment, fancier car, and way too many dinners at steakhouses. It's the "I deserve this" mentality that destroys personal finance. Remember Entourage? Vince and the crew burned through cash like water, and when the big rolls dried up, so did the luxury. That's the danger of overspending. Here's a fact: if you spend 100% of your income, you're broke. Doesn't matter if it's $40,000 or $400,000 a year. Financial psychology proves people tie status to stuff, but money habits that actually build wealth say otherwise. A smart guideline? Live on 70% of what you make, save or invest 20%, and keep 10% for fun. That way, you're building while still enjoying life. Think about it: if you're earning $90,000 and living on 70%, that leaves $27,000 a year to invest. Put that into index funds averaging 8%, and in 15 years you've got almost $650,000 sitting there. That's the difference between always chasing paychecks and actually making money work for you. Finance tips don't have to be boring, they just have to be consistent. It comes down to discipline. Swap the brand new BMW lease for a reliable used car. Cook at home more often. Delay buying that flashy watch until your passive income pays for it. Look at The Pursuit of Happiness. Chris Gardner didn't upgrade his life until he truly had the money to sustain it. That kind of patience is what separates freedom from paycheck to paycheck stress. So, while education can land you a solid income, without control and lifestyle creep, it all evaporates. Living below your means isn't punishment, it's buying your future self options. But here's the kicker: sometimes the problem isn't overspending, it's chasing credentials instead of building skills that actually put money in your pocket. A lot of educated people chase diplomas like they're lottery tickets. Don't get me wrong, education matters, but the marketplace doesn't pay you for how many degrees you stack, it pays for the value you create. Think about Suits. Mike Ross had no fancy Harvard law degree, but his problem-solving and memory skills made him worth more than half the attorneys in the room. That's the real flex. Financial psychology shows us this: chasing credentials without sharpening marketable skills leads to frustration. You might spend $100,000 on a degree and still struggle to land a job that covers the bills. Meanwhile, someone learning coding on YouTube or mastering sales techniques can make six figures without the fancy paper. Skills are income multipliers, and that's why they beat credentials every time. Here's a practical money habit: invest in skill-building courses, not just school tuition. Want finance tips? Platforms like Coursera, Skillshare, or even YouTube University can teach you high-value skills: copywriting, digital marketing, coding, or negotiation that boost your personal finance game. A $200 course in SEO can easily help you make an extra $2,000 per month freelancing. That's a 10x return on knowledge. Let's be real, credentials can get your foot in the door, but skills keep you in the room. Employers and clients pay for solutions, not degrees hanging on your wall. Look at Tony Stark in Iron Man. He didn't have a business diploma telling him how to run Stark Industries. He had innovation, vision, and adaptability. That's what built his empire. So, if you're banking only on your degree to save you, you're already behind. Focus on stacking skills that people are willing to pay for. Build that portfolio of value, not just a resume of titles. And here's the twist: even with skills, if fear keeps you from taking calculated risks, your financial growth still stalls. That's where we're heading next. Educated people are often trained to play it safe. School rewards you for coloring inside the lines, not for betting on yourself. But when it comes to personal finance, avoiding risks altogether is the fastest way to stay stuck. In The Social Network, Mark Zuckerberg took the risk of building Facebook in his dorm. Imagine if he had played it safe and stuck to classes only, there'd be no empire. Here's where financial psychology kicks in: people fear losing money more than they value gaining it. That's why so many never invest or start a side hustle. But the truth is, calculated risks don't mean reckless gambling. They mean doing your homework, starting small, and scaling up. Money habits built on courage create the biggest wins over time. Want practical finance tips? Begin with low-cost index funds like Vanguard VTI or Fidelity's FXAIX. You're not betting on one company, you're betting on the entire market. History shows the S&P 500 has averaged 10% returns annually for decades. Put $200 a month in there, and in 20 years you're sitting on over $150,000. That's a safe risk with real upside. Beyond investing, try micro-risks in entrepreneurship. Launch an Etsy store, start a consulting gig, or test a digital product. These are controlled risks. You're not quitting your job overnight, but you're opening doors. Think about Stranger Things. The kids took risks venturing into the upside down, but they did it together and step by step. That's how you face the scary unknown without losing everything. So, while fear feels like it's protecting you, it's actually holding you hostage. Wealth requires stepping out of the comfort zone, but smartly. And here's the kicker, even the boldest risk takers won't go far if they don't build the right connections, and that's where the next piece of the puzzle comes in. Here's the truth, most opportunities don't come from textbooks, they come from people. Too many educated folks think grades and degrees are enough, but in reality, your network often decides your net worth. In Suits, Harvey Specter wasn't the best because of a law degree, he was powerful because of who he knew and how he used those relationships. That's financial psychology at work. Strong money habits include building relationships like assets. Think of every connection as compound interest, tiny interactions that grow into huge opportunities later. Attend local meetups, LinkedIn events, or even casual dinners with ambitious people. Finance tips aren't just about stocks, they're about leveraging human capital. A single introduction can change your personal finance trajectory forever. Here's something practical. Commit to nurturing 3 professional relationships every week. It can be sending a check-in text, sharing a useful resource, or grabbing coffee. Small, consistent habits like this build trust over time. Imagine if you reached out to 150 people in a year, that's 150 seeds planted that could bloom into new jobs, partnerships, or investment chances. Think about Moneyball. Billy Beane didn't beat the system with money, he beat it with connections and fresh perspectives. He collaborated with people who saw value where others didn't. That's what networking does. It opens your eyes to opportunities you would never find sitting alone in your comfort zone. Financial education teaches numbers, but networks teach leverage. So while you might grind hard on academics, ignoring the people side of the equation will keep you stuck. Building networks isn't about being fake, it's about genuine connection, giving before you get, and staying consistent. And here's the deeper layer, even networks fall short if wisdom isn't guiding your decisions, something timeless and way bigger than just modern strategy. The Bible drops timeless financial wisdom that still hits hard today. Proverbs 21 verse 20 says, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down." Translation? Smart people save and prepare, while others burn through their money the moment it hits their account. Financial psychology proves this. People chase short-term pleasure over long-term security, and that's why so many stay broke. Think about money habits like Joseph in the Prince of Egypt. He stored grain during the good years so there was plenty during the famine. That's the exact same principle we need now. Save, invest, and prepare while times are good. Imagine stashing away 6 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account. You'd feel untouchable during layoffs or emergencies. That's not luck, that's wisdom in action. Here's a practical move. Set up automatic transfers. Every payday, move 20% straight into investments or savings before you even see it. Out of sight, out of mind. Finance tips like this seem small, but they add up massively. $500 a month invested at 8% for 25 years becomes almost $470,000. That's literally building the storehouses Proverbs talks about. And don't forget, wisdom isn't just saving, it's stewardship. It's about making money serve your values instead of the other way around. Look at It's a Wonderful Life. George Bailey used money wisely to build community instead of chasing quick riches. That kind of disciplined financial education leaves a legacy that degrees alone never will. So while knowledge gets you started, wisdom sustains you. True wealth isn't just measured in dollars, it's measured in how well you manage, prepare, and multiply resources. And now that we've broken down all 7 reasons educated people stay broke, it's time to step back, connect the dots, and bring it all together in a powerful introduction. So, let's be real, now you know the 7 reasons why many educated people are poor. Remember how we started? That frustrating feeling of being smart, hardworking, even successful on paper, yet constantly stressed about money. You've seen how relying only on a salary, ignoring financial literacy, overspending, or chasing credentials can quietly drain your wealth. But here's the shift: you now have the tools, the habits, and the financial psychology to flip the script and finally build personal finance freedom. But here's my challenge for you: what are you going to do differently this week? Will you start a side hustle? Will you pick up that finance book? Or maybe cut back lifestyle creep and invest the difference? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I want to hear where you're at on this journey. And hey, don't just watch and leave. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're dropping finance tips and strategies that can literally change your future. Se inscriva agora para neo perder dicas que podem transformar sua relicao como dinheiro. And if you're ready to take it deeper, this is your shot. My Material Holistic Health, Nourish Your Mind, Balance Your Finances, Transform Your Life was built to show you step by step how to create passive income streams, eliminate debt, and maintain mental clarity even under financial pressure. Imagine finally having a plan that balances wealth and well-being, instead of chasing money while burning out. This isn't fluff, it's practical, tested, and built for people just like you. Click the link in the pinned comment now and start transforming your finances today. It's your time. Don't wait for another year to pass with the same struggles. Check out the material in the pinned comment, apply what you've learned, and watch your financial life shift in ways you never thought possible. Your money mindset is the key, and the sooner you master it, the sooner you win.